can I do the intro?
No. Hello and welcome to This Is Austin.
It's time. The gamers have spoken. We've been blessed by Gaben himself, and we now have the Steam Deck in all its glory. Only, 2 weeks away before it actually launches and starts shipping?
Yeah, so it's 2 months delayed. We should be starting to see the higher end models.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it looks like it's everything we hoped it would be.
The first hardware overviews of the Steam Deck are live. Gamers Nexus as well as Linus have done the first hardware overviews. And the big thing that I was worried about was that the Steam Deck was gonna suck. Spoiler alert, it don't suck, son.
What?
Sorry, I just regret the way I just said.
Yeah,
It don't suck, son.
I can put some
Weird.
big flaming text letters
It don't
over
suck,
there.
son.
Yeah, cool.
It don't suck, son. So Matt, what are your thoughts on Steam Deck right now? Because you have one on pre-order for, I think, Q2, right? Personally.
I did get the fully spec'd one, which I somewhat regret, just because it does look like that you don't really need the fully spec'd one. So one of the cool things that Linus has proven, which I was super excited for, is that you get pretty much the same performance on the SSD that you get with the SD card. You can get up to 3 terabytes.
You can do a 1 terabyte SD card plus a 2 terabyte SSD inside.
Yes, it's a smaller NVMe drive.
And to be fair, you will see faster performance on the SSD. But importantly, if you get a decent spec micro SD card, it actually will be fine. And actually, that's sort of the running trend of the sort of initial Steam Deck stuff. So I do want to give one disclaimer. This is a hardware embargo with a couple of hand-picked Valve-approved titles, right? This embargo was designed to put the Steam Deck in the best possible light, right? But there's so much good here with the Steam Deck that while there's still questions, I feel completely happy.
I don't think any of the questions that we have going into this are deal breakers.
We know that the performance on Linux for games that are not incredibly well optimized is going to be below Windows. Guess what? Give me some Windows drivers and I'll load up a copy of Windows, which I bet maybe not the majority of gamers will do, but I think a lot of people will just load up a copy of Windows.
That's why I wanted to get it. I want to be able to sit on the couch, I want to sit in bed, whatever, and play my GamePass games on this. That's why I personally ordered one, and it looks like it's going to do exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But then it does have the ability to be a full-on gaming machine for those who have a huge Steam library, which is dope.
This is what we've been wanting for years, which is a portable Xbox. How often have we been saying, ever since really the Xbox One came out, oh, I wish they would let us put Windows on this. I wish they would let us put Windows on this. That's pretty much exactly what the Steam Deck is, right? So you're getting the affordability of a console, because let's not kid ourselves. Gabe is not making money selling you a Steam Deck, right? They were very aggressive, just the way that Microsoft and Sony traditionally are, on giving you a very affordably priced device because they're making their money on the back end. There is essentially no downside to picking up even the base model, right? So let's think about it. For $400, you're getting a very, very powerful system. Unlike things like the Ion Neo and a lot of the other sort of portable gaming PCs, this has a custom SoC, which has the latest RDNA 2 graphics. It's really a cut down version of what you get on the Xbox Series S, which means that you're getting a ton of performance, not only for $400, but for $400 in a portable form factor.
All right, so we have 2 devices here that do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
These are triple the price of the base model for the Steam Deck.
And they're less performant. But it makes sense because these are companies who need to make money selling hardware. Valve doesn't. Gabe is just writing checks, just making it rain out there because Valve makes so much money on Steam that they can afford to take a hit on hardware. But it feels like they were able to nail the Steam Deck for the most part. It's not going to be a perfect device, but from what we've been able to see, this feels like it doesn't suck. If you put it all together, the Steam Deck, I think, has a couple of major wins. You can buy a Steam Deck, and for $400, it is the best gaming PC you can get for the money. I don't think you can build a gaming PC for $400.
No, you definitely cannot.
Right? That will be able to match it. Much less the fact that it has a screen and the controller and everything built in, right? So we just kind of have to put this into perspective here. We're not looking at the Steam Deck compared to a gaming PC because it just simply, it's a different kind of class, whether it's something portable, whether it's something you build, because this is priced like a console. Again, I don't know what Valve's market, or sort of the margins are on this, but they're not making a lot of money, if anything. They're probably making a loss on the base model. They may be making a loss on the whole thing, right? But it doesn't matter to us as gamers. We want to buy something which is going to perform well and to deliver what we want, which is portable gaming in a way where we can play more than just what the Switch allows us to do. And the Steam Deck feels like an absolute slam dunk. It's not perfect. You're probably going to want to install a copy of Windows to get the most out of it. You're also going to want to play around with like the power settings and whatnot.
The joysticks are like meh. The buttons are meh. Like none of them are bad.
There's a lot there though, right? Between like the actual touchpad, and you can use it with a gyro, and of course you've got the touch screen, and
there's the mouse, touch pads.
Here's the thing. Here's my pitch on the Steam Deck, right? The Steam Deck, especially if you load it up with a copy of Windows, could be almost like a gaming laptop replacement, right? So not only can you play it sort of completely handheld, but you're one USB-C dock away from having a monitor, having a mouse, having a keyboard, having whatever peripherals and accessories you want to run. Now, no, once you plug this thing into a 4K display, you're not going to be able to get crazy frame rates, right? Like, you know, keep your expectations low. But if you think about it in the sort of context of a $400 device, it is very powerful. Now, I know that there are some people who are concerned that while yes, it's fine for now, that it's going to age quickly. I don't necessarily agree with that though. Like, this is still a lot of performance for a handheld, like a lot.
You know, it's one of those things. Like, I'd be interested. Like, is it going to be able to do something in like 3 years? So one of the things that we were discussing before this is Valve's track record of just not continuing products.
Yeah.
And not supporting them or.
I actually think that this is like the hype for this thing is so real, and Valve have put so much work into it. I very much foresee Valve updating this at least somewhat frequently, even if they keep the hardware almost identical and just swap out like the chip every couple years or something.
Yeah.
It feels like this is successful enough. Obviously, we don't know, we don't have the sales numbers, but I would be very surprised if the Steam Deck is not selling well enough and there's not enough hype around this thing for Valve to continue to work on it, because they've been trying to get into space forever between like Steam machines and controllers and all kinds of stuff. This feels like the first time they've had a huge win. They would be crazy to throw it away.
And I personally been stressing this with a lot of gaming and stuff in the past couple of years. Is it good enough? And the Steam Deck is something that I think is hitting that sweet spot.
And when you put it beside the Switch, while yes, the Switch certainly has a huge library of exclusive games, but guess what? Steam has a million things, and it's a freaking Windows PC. You can load up whatever you want on there.
You know what?
You can run emulators. You can do whatever you want.
If we're comparing it to Nintendo, this can't play a lot of Nintendo games. The Steam Deck can play most Nintendo games.
Once you load up a copy of Windows, you can move back and forth. If they make that a seamless, simple process, which I don't see why they wouldn't, it's going to be such a good device.
There's just so many more things you can do with it. And again, we're just for so much cheaper than any of these other devices.
I'm just so happy that while there's still questions, and we will, of course, still need to do our full hands-on, so make sure to subscribe and ring that ding-a-ling button. But I think it is a very safe thing to say at this point. The Steam Deck will not suck. I was hopeful that it would be good, but you never know with these things. But based on what we've sort of seen so far, the Steam Deck feels like it will be the thing we've been hoping for. So what more could you ask for? Besides to subscribe and ring the ding-a-ling
I'll
button.
just say about like 5 more hours of battery life, just completely eliminating the laws of physics. And
Yeah.
Laws of physics! Horrible! Like, subscribe!